I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
And we are here on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. We're here just for you so you can shop with Zoe. Zoe Ma, international businesswoman, gives us some great deals on some of those regular household items that you may have seen or may not have seen even on the market. But also, we take a look at the whole world of international relations. How do we make friends with others who may have some things that we need and we may have some things that they need? That's all business is. It's just exchanging. You exchange something with me that you want, and I exchange something with you that I want. It's about relationships, building trusting relationships. That's all business is. We can do that, but we make it more complicated than it needs to be. If someone has something that we desire and we know it's something of value, we simply discuss how we can acquire what it is that they have, and they negotiate what of value that we have that we can give in return. Now, all money is a representation of a certain value. We might not have a direct thing that the person wants that we have, but we have something that we can give them that gives them the value of what they have so they can get something else from someone else. That's how currency was created. And we've had all kinds of different currencies. We've had everything from cowrie shells to goats. Whatever the community values. Well, now we have something that's a lot easier to carry around than a goat. We've got coins, we've got dollars, and now we even have digital currency. We have money that can be exchanged through bank accounts representing a certain amount of value. But the whole thing is about exchange, and it's about the relationships that you build. So we want to help ourselves build relationships based on the fact that we value the people that we're building relationships with. It's all about mutual respect. That's an important part of business. And it doesn't mean that you have to look alike or live in the same place or have the same beliefs about politics or religion. Just respect what each other has to offer and offer them the value of whatever it is you're desiring from them. It might be a service, it might be an article of clothing, it might be a skill, it might be all kinds of things. But this is what business is about. It's about exchange. And so when we choose to exchange with each other, we're showing each other respect. And on a higher level, even love. We're valuing you because you exist and you're contributing to the general welfare of the population and the family of Earth, of which we're all a member. So when we look at business in that manner, then we can remove all of the other things that have been piled upon the idea of business that keeps us from doing business. Everything from what I have isn't of value, or I'm not smart enough to do the thing that they have asked me to do, or they don't really like me, or I don't really like them. I mean, we have all these barriers to doing basic business, which is exchanging value for value. One of the biggest barriers for us being able to exchange value for value is that we often don't value ourselves. We condemn ourselves for all the mistakes we've made in life. And in our own minds, we are of lesser value. That's something inside of us. No one placed that there. We did that. Now, you might have parents that condemned you if you got low grades in school, or you didn't perform well as an athlete, or you forgot your lines in a school play, or whatever it is that you might have done that was not exceptional. They may have been harsh in their condemnation, made you feel bad as a child. Well, last week on Shop with Zoe, we talked about forgiving your parents because they only did what they thought would make you better, even if it hurt you. But we have to let that go and understand they did the best they knew how based on how they were raised and how they were prepared. You never know what kind of parent you're going to be until you have a child, or you're responsible for raising a child. But they did the best they knew how with all the flaws that they have. So we have to forgive them. Well, today we're going to talk about forgiving yourself, because there's so much that we do that we regret, but we can't always condemn ourselves for being imperfect. What that does, it makes us lack confidence. We're constantly saying things to ourselves that put ourselves down, and it makes us hesitate to step forward and offer anything, whether it be a product or service or our time and efforts, because we're feeling unworthy. And we feel unworthy because we have not forgiven ourselves. So we want you to give us a call. And we certainly do appreciate your sharing your experiences with us as we shop with Zoe and learn how to love yourself and forgive yourself. And of course, while you're forgiving yourself for that little minor infraction, that little mistake you've made, that social faux pas, whatever it is you did that makes you feel bad for a time, we're going to also introduce you to some nice, comforting tea. Some herbal tea that can relax you, make you feel better and less stressed. And you can order it right here on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. You can go to our website, or you can call in 727-731-5192, and we'll prepare to ship some to you. We want you to feel better. And we want you to know that everybody makes mistakes so that you're not condemning yourself for being human. And our wonderful Monday morning mindfulness host, Zelda Speaks, says, Grand Rising, awesome, beautiful queen teacher. Oh, she's so wonderful. We do beat up on ourselves. If we used affirmations instead, we'd feel a whole lot better. That's such good advice. Affirmations are positive statements, positive I am statements, because whatever you say after I am, you're literally engraving that in cement in your soul. I am. You're defining yourself to yourself, and you will manifest whatever you say I am. So say some positive affirmations. Say some words that are going to give you some uplifting energy. There was an experiment done, and you may have seen this, how words can affect you, whether they're spoken or written or even thought. The experiment was, the strength test. You hold out your arm and someone tries to push it down. Man, try this with a friend. You hold out your arm, somebody tries to push it down, right? You try to resist it long, with all your might. And then you say a word to them. I love you. And then see how hard it is to push the arm down. You notice they got more strength. And then you say something to them that's mean. You're ugly. And you see they lose strength. And then you say something kind to them again. You're beautiful. And you notice their strength comes back. But then write it on a piece of paper and just hand it to them. Have them hold it to their heart. They don't know what they said. They don't know what you said. If it was an affirming word of something wonderful, I love you. Even if it's not spoken, if it's written, they will get strength. You can say something mean, write it down. Give them to them, fold it up piece of paper, like hold it to their heart. You try to push that arm down again. It could be, I hate you. Now, they don't know what's on the piece of paper that they're holding to their heart that you've written down, but they'll lose their strength. Now, next thing, and this is really fascinating, just think the words. Think the word. Think the words. I love you. Just think it at them. And they'll get strength. And then think the words to them. I hate you. Ugly. Just think it. Try to push that arm down. Some strength is gone. Now, they don't even know what your thoughts are, but their physical body is affected. It's a fascinating experiment. Try it with a friend. You need to see how powerful words and even thoughts are, whether they're thoughts in your mind, thoughts written on a piece of paper or a computer, or thoughts just thought in your mind. Thoughts are powerful things and they affect the energy of people. So when you're sending a lot of negative energy at somebody, you're actually affecting their physical body. You're affecting the energy body, which affects the physical body, because thoughts are energy. Thoughts have power. It's an amazing thing to observe. Try that experiment, because what you'll discover is that you can strengthen someone with positive thoughts and you can weaken them with negative thoughts. So now just imagine if you have that kind of ability to affect someone else. Imagine all of the thoughts in your mind every day about yourself. Imagine how that's affecting you. One thing that you say to yourself when you make a mistake, oh, I'm so stupid. I am so stupid. You say that. And what is that doing to your energy? Have you found yourself overly tired and exhausted lately? Think about what you're saying to yourself. And we've got Zoe Ma on the line. Zoe, I sent the link. Do you have it? I can send it again. Well, I will send it again.
Thank you.
All right. Yes. You're going to see the lovely, beautiful face of our Thursday morning host, Zoe, as we talk about how to love yourself and forgive yourself. Because forgiveness means you stop condemning yourself for what you've done. And as our Monday morning mindfulness host says, use positive affirmations. I am beautiful. I am intelligent. I am kind. I am loving. I am compassionate. I am worthy of the best in life. Now, just saying that, I feel energized. But if you feel yourself sluggish a lot, losing energy, you may want to think about what you've been saying to yourself. And you don't even realize it. Because if you've been doing it as a regular habit, it's automatic. Whenever you make a mistake, oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, I'm so forgetful. Oh, I'm so disorganized. And you're saying these things so automatic, unconscious, and you're affecting your energy. So if you find yourself being tired a lot, it could be because you're taking away your own energy by the things you're saying to yourself. Sometimes it's the voice of our mother or our father that might have been critical. And so we find ourselves replaying the tape of their words. Well, you got to forgive them for being condemnatory because they really meant to inspire you or motivate you to try harder, but they didn't know that they were tearing you down. So you have to forgive them. But now you have to learn to forgive yourself. Stop repeating words that condemn you. Lift yourself up, because when you're tired a lot, yes, it's physical, but the physical starts with the emotions. The physical starts with the energy you're projecting to yourself. What kind of energy are you projecting to yourself? Well, we're going to take a quick break and come on back with our dear sister Zoe Ma as we talk about how to love yourself and forgive yourself. That's what it takes to energize yourself and motivate yourself. You have to believe in yourself and stop reviewing all of your mistakes in your mind and making yourself feel bad. Think about what you learned from whatever decision you made that didn't turn out well, because you learned something. So it's okay. We'll be right back after this quick break. We want you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back after this reminder. So stay with us.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
Do you or your organization need space for an event? Call the Quarry Event Center at 2423 East 75th Street in Chicago for your parties, banquets, award ceremonies, repasses, concerts, and business seminars. Available 7 days a week. Now under new management. Call us at the Quarry at 773-663-2557. That's 773-663-2557. Do you have a product or service? Take your business global and get new customers from around the world. Advertise on the Female Solution Radio Show. You may have a great product. You may even have a fantastic website. But how do you let people know you exist? Tell them. Promote your business on one of the most dynamic shows on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution. You'll reach an enthusiastic audience of more than 100,000 loyal daily listeners with a specially designed 30-second ad that will drive customers directly to your website. We'll send you statistics as tracked by Blog Talk Radio to let you know the numbers and demographics of those hearing your advertisement. Your ad will run during the live 2-hour morning show from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and It will be heard all day long by listeners who listen to the archived show. You'll reach our worldwide audience on their laptops, iPods, iPads, and cell phones. Watch the orders for your product or service increase. Just go to our website, www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. And click on the radio advertising page. Send us your words. We'll create a 30-second radio ad and watch your business increase worldwide.
Well, we are certainly grateful to be on multiple platforms every day on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. You can go to the Female Solution website and just check where you'd like to hear our show, because we are on not only Blog Talk Radio, we're also on the on-air radio network, and that gives you a chance to call in directly, comment, and listen in. And we also want you to share your thoughts as we present you each day with our subject of the day and our wonderful host, our wonderful team of hosts. And we also give you an opportunity to join us visually. We are on Facebook and YouTube on multiple channels, and every show host has a Facebook page. We're live on the Female Solution Facebook page and sharing it on all of our host channels. And we're on the Female Solution YouTube channel. So all of these opportunities give you a chance to interact. And if you are one that likes a visual connection, then we give you that as well. So you can write in your comments and you can express yourselves, and we will pull your comments up on the screen and share them with our listening and viewing audience. So we give you a number of choices on how you can connect with us, because we value your opinions as well. And this is all about interaction and building relationships across time and distance. Because as you know, we're here live in real time. And that means that people will hear us whatever time it is, wherever they are. So if it is, well, let's see, if we're talking to someone in London, it's 6 hours early. So it's literally 6 hours into the future. And we can talk to them right now. And for them, while it's 7 a.m. for us, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon for them. But we're still having a conversation across time and distance. So that's the power of the global communication network. It gives us a chance to reach each other no matter where we are. And we can build relationships over time and distance. It's a very powerful thing. And if you are a person who likes to meet face to face, then we invite you to join us on our Female Solution Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and type in the Female Solution. Like our page so that you can get regular notices and hit that bell. You know, we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notices whenever we're live, and you can be a part of the conversation. Today, we want to encourage you to learn to love yourself and forgive yourself, because that is the beginning of generating positive energy to yourself. And as we shop with Zoe, we're going to introduce you a nice brand of tea that will help calm you and make you feel better. But as you make yourself feel better physically, we want you to feel better emotionally, which means we want you to be conscious of the self-talk going on in your head when you condemn yourself. And we want you to be aware of what you're saying to yourself. So we're going to bring in our guest, Zoe. Let's see if you can lower your camera a little bit, less headroom, so we can see more of your beautiful face. Yes, there you go. And when you find yourself saying things to yourself, might come from hearing it from your parents. Oh, you're so forgetful. Every time you leave the house, can't find your keys, or accidentally lock yourself out the house, start condemning yourself. Stop. We're only human. And when you're doing a lot of things and you make mistakes, it's okay. You're not a bad person. So be aware of what you're saying to yourself. It is affecting you energetically, and then physically it manifests. So let's bring on our wonderful Thursday morning host so we can shop with Zoe. Welcome, Zoema.
Good morning.
Good morning.
From northern Wisconsin. Look, that's our
Hey.
deer.
Wow. Down in Wisconsin. Ooh, yeah, that's that beautiful country with the forest and trees and all that.
Yes. I'm just this part called like north woods of Wisconsin. We are between Green Bay and the Iron Mountain of Michigan. So,
Yeah.
and here, in the fall, like Thanksgiving week, here is called the deer hunting week. So a lot of people from Wisconsin and around in across the country come to this part of the Northwood for deer hunting, and you see a lot of people dressed in orange suit because they don't want to be viewed as a deer to be shot at. So
that happens. Yes. People make mistakes. They see something moving, and you're wearing a black jacket or a brown jacket. Yeah, you could be mistaken for a deer. So you better wear that bright orange. Yeah, they figured that out after a couple of hunting accidents happened.
Yes.
You have another color on.
Yes. So it's very funny. Yeah, it's beautiful here. I live here for about 4 or 5 years when I run the assisted living here. And driving around the area is like you're driving through the national park. It's very, very beautiful everywhere. It's worth to come to for a visit. And what we are building here is actually a self-sustainable community living. So so Naima, you can come to take a look at where we are here. But so maybe next time we can talk about it more. But this month is a month of love. And first thing in the morning, I normally, especially when because of the change of season, I would drink a special tea. This tea is called little package like this. It's almost like an instant coffee. So you just put in the hot water and then drink in the morning and evening. And also if you have like scratchy throat or just you feel like the cold is coming on you, that's what I drink. And throughout the COVID, I never got COVID. And then I think about end of last year, I was exposed to my friend on one hand got a COVID. My son on the other hand got strep throat. I survived with all of that. I was just not affected at all because whenever I don't feel comfortable, I drink this. And it's called a Balangan tea. I discovered this tea. I think at the beginning of COVID, What I heard is that back in 2003, China has the SARS, and they said, they recommend people drink this kind of tea to build immune system against SARS. And I said, well, SARS is kind of virus. Maybe this one works. So throughout the COVID, I have 5 or 6 package at home. And then me and my son drinking all the time. And then my son never got COVID either. And then actually, from when he's very young, my son was exposed to this tea. So for him, it's just whenever he don't feel good, he will go to the cupboard and get himself a tea for this. So it's automatic for him.
Ah, now what are
Yeah.
some of the effects of the tea as you drink it? And you mentioned, it helps with, like, if you have a cold coming on, things like that. Now, is that the kind of tea that it sort of relaxes you, or so makes you a little drowsy or helps you sleep, or does it help wake you up and energize you?
This is actually made of a plant in the ginger family, so there's no caffeine.
Oh,
It's just ginger, but it's different kind of ginger that grow in South China, like maybe also in Thailand somewhere. It's like a tropical ginger. You can probably say that.
ah,
And then I remember when I was running managing the assisted living in cold season, my staff will get cold. And they can't, they using those cough medicines from drugstore and sometimes just don't work and make them drowsy. And I recommend them to drink this kind of tea. And my staff, up here, they tried it, and they feel it works so well. Help you sleep at night too. I think just this is kind of ginger. It's some it just grows in a more tropical area, subtropical area of climate, but help you fight those kind of how say not so virus, but definitely build your immune system, help you just be able to withstand the attack of virus. So
yeah, I think that's one of the things that people need to think about, prevention, or when you feel, because a lot of times you get those warnings that you're about to catch a cold, or that you've attracted some kind of a virus. Your throat gets scratchy, you feel your nose runny, your eyes start getting watery. So you want to combat it as soon as possible before it takes a hold of your body and
exactly.
yeah.
When I feel I have the inkling of, okay, the weather, just suddenly it's hot, sometimes it's cold. It just changes the season. Then your body is just sometimes doesn't adjust to the change of weather so quickly, and then your maybe pores are open for the virus to come in your body.
Yeah.
And then you need to put like some maybe coating of your body against that. And I thought this something this tea really helps me. Like I said, I never got COVID, and even I have very close contact with people with serious virus. Just end of last year, I never got anything. But I actually feel it. I feel something coming. So I keep drinking. If when I don't feel, I feel like, okay, I need a more dose of this tea. I will drink 2 package, in the morning and before I go to bed. So that's that really helped me. So I think it's good to get ready for the spring. This is what you need for the springtime, because spring, the grass, the trees are starting to grow new leaves. So is those bacteria, the virus. They come alive too. So it's good to build ourselves up to fight those ones. And our body has great healing properties. We need to invoke our body's soldiers, the soldiers inside our body. to fight them rather than get the medication. And actually, a lot of time there's a side effect that actually cause more, have more harm to your body than your, what it can help you. And I think it just, I was watching I would just open my iPad for a news feeds and say, some of the anti-anxiety medication may do more harm to you. And then, so we always have to be careful of the medication that we put in our body. They can change a lot of things.
So you can relax your body and your mind with.
Yes. And we
Now
pronounce
the name of the tea. Balangan.
Balangan is B. It's Balangan. See the letters underneath the green on the top. It shows Balangan. And then the last four. Let me see. Just Balangan.
Balangan.
Tongji means just like instant dissolving type. But the word, the first
Balangan Tongji.
Yeah, Balangan Tongji. Yeah, but Balangan
Tongji. I got it. Yes.
yes. Well, but I think there is support. This is this kind of tea is help our body physically. Now we have to think about how to care for ourselves mentally, emotionally, which is love ourselves, self-love. And I think last time we were talking about as part of loving love, we need to learn how to forgive our parents, forgive our friends, the things that we love so much and that we can't accept any mistake they may done to us, and we hold that feeling so strong, and then we just cannot forgive them, and then actually not only poison the relationship between us with our our parents, our siblings, our friends, that also cause mental anxiety in ourselves. I think, so for us to move on, we need to learn to love them and forgive them, because they are not perfect. Now, when we learn to forgive our parents, our friends, and brothers and sisters, siblings, first of all, we have to learn to forgive ourselves. I think a lot of time, and I just learned that from my own experience, is we feel so guilty of the mistake we made in our life. We carry that shame, the guilt, our life, that we cannot find happiness. And because we cannot forgive ourselves, we have anger, we have anxiety, and that actually sometimes can manifest in our behaviors towards others. It's not like we are mad at the other person, but our action of anger is more come from ourselves, that we cannot do things. We made mistake in our life, so sometimes we have to cut ourselves some slacks. We have to learn to lower expectation of ourselves. We do the best we can, but we are not superwoman. And so I know the society has created so much expectation of us. We need to achieve some, not only we ourselves will set some goals for ourselves, our family and then friends and the society, to say, oh, you have to be this, you have to be like them, just like, so we constantly compare to the Jones. And then that's an extra burden. But you know what? God developed us. God made us to be different. We have different talent. We can't just say, well, the thing is, my son grew up in this country here. And then the teacher told my son, why can't you be good at math? You are Chinese.
Oh, stereotype and all of that.
Yes, and yeah, so my son was very hurt by a lot of expectation of him.
Oh, that's terrible. That's
terrible. So just so expect all the Chinese kids to be good at math, but you know what? I think that's a myth, and I keep telling myself, it's not all the Chinese kids are smarter than you. They just put more hours into work.
Emphasis on certain things in the school system. That's all. Yeah.
Yes, you know what? One time 2 years ago, I was in New York with my friends, and she actually was a classmate from my high school in China, and she put her 9-year-old girl to so much after school program. I feel she was brutalizing her. I said, why? Why you won't do that? I think she doesn't have to be perfect. And I just feel like sometimes we just like to compare and project success to ourselves, but we can do it. But
and we do it through our children. We over extend them because we feel like they're an expression of us, and so we want to feel successful by making them do all these things so that we can feel successful. And I have seen people overschedule their children for so many things. They got this program and that program, and their children are exhausted. You got dance, you got basketball, you got track, you got piano, you got all these things. What is the parents trying to prove? Oh, my child is an exceptional child, so I can feel like I'm an exceptional person. We're punishing our children because we're trying to make them make up for our feeling of inadequacy.
Yeah, but I think God never feel we are inadequate. God loves us no matter what. So it's our own mind. It's the society. It's other people. A lot of people they shame you to make themselves feel better.
Yes.
So so sometimes you just say, I'm only human. I'm doing the best I can. Yes. And lower expectation of ourselves, because you want to compare to yourself, to the Jews. Maybe their family has, their parents in some kind of position have a lot of resources that you are not entitled. You are not. It's not available to you. Your parents are different, so then you don't blame your parents,
right?
For not to be able to provide the things that the other parents can have. It's not. I live in North Shore, and of course here is all the wealth of Illinois stored. A lot of people, a lot of family living in mansions. They're by the lake. The huge houses on the lake cost like what, $7, $8, $10 million on the housing, and then they will bring the kids. My son bring those thoughts. Say they are living in this big house, and I say, well, they have a 2-parent household, and their family coming from traditional wealth. I said, I came to this country with $40 in my pocket. It's good that I actually allowed you to go to the same school as them, but I'm not going to be able to afford a house like them. You just give them the context and let them be grateful for what they already have. And I don't have to accept that kind of shame. I told him, say, when you say that, you are shaming me. Feel like I'm inadequate. No, I have done what? Excellent, given my background.
Yes, that's a really important point, and we want you all to call in if you have had that experience, either feeling ashamed of where your parents raised you, ashamed to bring your friends to your house, or if your children have ever shamed you, made you feel like, well, how come you can't do this? How come we don't have a bigger house? How come we don't have a better car? And how come you can't afford to buy me this? If your children have ever shamed you and made you feel inadequate, tell us about that. Or if you realize you might have shamed your parents. And this is a very critical thing because we're being manipulated. We get manipulated to buy things that we can't really afford because we're afraid of being publicly shamed or privately shamed by our loved ones. This is a tactic that's used all the time in advertising to make you feel like you're not worthy of respect unless you spend a certain amount of money for your clothing or for your house or for your car, to make you feel like you're not going to receive love and respect from people that you care about if you don't spend enough money. That's a manipulative tactic that we fall for all the time. And we have to teach our children not to let themselves be manipulated. And we have to not be manipulated. We were talking earlier about forgiving yourself. If you're always putting yourself down or making yourself feel bad or shaming yourself because you don't have the clothes that you think you should have on, or you don't have the car you think you should be driving, and so you're making yourself feel ashamed, like you don't deserve to be around certain people, stop it. All people are just as valuable. There is nobody that's better than anybody. I don't care what you have the illusion that you have or someone else has. It's an illusion. And this is one of the biggest things to undo in our own minds. You look at our whole world, people making you feel like you're not worthy to come to certain events because, well, you don't belong to a certain class of people, so we can't let you in here. This happens all the time, and we have to stop doing it to ourselves. So that's, I really want people to reflect on if they have done this to themselves or if someone has done it to them so that we can stop it.
Yeah, I think, for kids, they don't understand, they compare it the face value. But as a parent, and then we need to tell our kids why we can be proud ourselves. We have accomplished a lot.
Yes.
So, just tell them that this is the apple and the oranges. You shouldn't do that, such a comparison. Teach them, and they understand how to analyze the situation. And then they learn the tools, not be shamed by other people, or shame themselves. At our generation, we have so many information. It's not like the generation before us. There's a lot of information are not available to them. They do not know how to defend themselves with the right knowledge and with right information. This generation, like us, we are living in the information age. We have a lot. So we have to use those information to defend ourselves.
Yes.
And so there's many things that happened, like really awake me. One thing is in 97, the Prince Diana died. The death of Prince Diana really shaked me. We always want to compare with somebody, and this and that. Look at Prince Diana. She had everything: the wealth, the beauty, the status, and the popularity. One thing she doesn't have: long life.
Yes.
And God is very fair. When you have so much everything, very short period of time, she didn't have enough love.
Yes.
And then you know what? Then we can calculate what we have.
Yes.
So whatever the image Princess Diana projected is a mirage.
Right.
It's a mirage.
Illusion. That's right.
So to me,
miserable in her. Yeah.
Yeah, long life is worth everything. Because I can today I can breathe. I live longer than her. So that means I'm luckier than her. Right?
That's the thing, money doesn't stop you from passing away early. It doesn't stop any of those things. Having money doesn't bring you happiness. It just lets you be able to buy some things, but that doesn't make you happy if people around you don't love you. And that's what we learned about her. She was in a family that, you know, a lot of ways made her feel bad. And so,
Yeah.
you know,
She was very vulnerable because she was very insecure. Look at her, the way, you know, she had everything, but she was very insecure, and she was you know, just a high school graduate. She didn't go to college, so sometimes she doesn't have the sophistication.
And that matters too.
You handle that environment and make her miserable. So it's whatever you see a makeup, it was just makeup. Okay,
that's something
it's not the truth of that person. It's just makeup. When they take off the makeup, close their door, they are just average Joe and Jane. So you don't have to be, you know, be jealous of that person. So, and you don't have to copycatting that person.
Right.
You know?
We're always thinking we have to compare ourselves to people who look flawless because they got this makeup on, right? It gets rid of all the scars and everything. It makes you look perfect. And we judge ourselves based on a standard. Like you said, it's just an illusion. It's just makeup. It's not who they really are. And we're judging ourselves as less beautiful because we don't look that way. And Beata says, she's our Friday and Sunday host, says, Grand Rising Queens, enjoying this truthful, loving, enlightening talk. You are destroying the ignorance and prejudices that people have that keep them from being love. Yes, that's right. You can't be love if you have negative beliefs about other people. We got to take a break, but we're going to come back. And of course, we will gladly take your calls if you're on our Blog Talk switchboard. 515-605-9325. Just press 1. And of course, if you're on our on-air radio network switchboard, that's 727-731-192. We'll make sure we get to you. And just make sure you keep your phone on mute until you're ready to speak. And we'll be right back after this brief message. So we want you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in just a moment. So stay with us.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif. And if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're 3 Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also 3 sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
All right, let's see one more. All righty then. All righty then. Yes, we are back. And you're listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. And oh, it's got multiple devices going. So, yes. And if you are listening online and want to join this conversation, give us a call. 515-605-9325. Press 1 if you're in our studios and want to speak. And if you are listening on the on-air radio network, you can, of course, just keep your phone on mute and we will call on you. And that number is 727-731-5192. And want you to call that number. If you want more information on our wonderful tea, let's bring that up on the screen again. Now this comes in packages of how many?
Like a 20 package. Yeah, a bag has 20 small package.
Okay, so that's 20 packages of this delicious tea, and you can relax and enjoy some tea that's going to make you feel better mentally and physically. Relaxes you, but also helps strengthen your body's immune system. That's one of the things that we want people to really be aware of, is when your body is giving you signals that maybe you've been a little bit, maybe you've exhausted yourself and been working a little too hard, and maybe you've been telling yourself too many of those negative thoughts and it's zapping your energy. You know, every thought will lower your immune system. And this is another thing that people aren't aware of. You're affecting your immune system with your thoughts about yourself. Earlier, I was doing this demonstration from an experiment that was done about how words can affect your energy and how you can see how you reduce a person's strength. You know, you have a person hold out their arm and then say something, try to push it down, and then you say something negative to them, like you're ugly, and then you try to push their arm down. All of a sudden, their strength leaves, and it's just amazing. Then you know what happened, but something in their energetic body just is affected by those negative words, and you do that same experiment there. You know, you try to push the arm down, they try to hold it steady, and then you say something really kind, like you're beautiful, and then all of a sudden they get strength and you can't push the arm down. Now you can try that same thing you can write the words on a piece of paper I love you. You're beautiful. And give it to them and fold it up so they can't see what you wrote. Hold it closer to their heart. Try to push the arm down. All this, they got this superhuman strength. And then you do the same thing. Write something negative on a piece of paper. I hate you. You're ugly. Fold it up. They can't. They don't know what you've written. Have them hold it to their heart, and then hold out their arm. Try to push their arm down. They got no strength. Now they don't even know what you wrote on the paper, but the power of the words are transferred, even though they don't know what is written. And you can do that same thing when you just think the thought. Have them hold out their arm. You try to push it down, and just think the thought. Hate you. You're ugly. And they'll lose their energy. And then do the same experiment. Try to have them hold out their arm, and you try to push it down, and just think this thought. I love you. You're beautiful. Suddenly they'll get this amazing strength. And what we demonstrate, and people have seen this experiment many different times, what this demonstrates is the power of thought in affecting your energy. Because thoughts are energy, and negative thoughts are negative energy. And when you're directing that negative energy to yourself, you weaken your body, you weaken your immune system, and it's like lowering your shields against disease. If you ever watch Star Trek, I don't know how many people are Star Trek fans, but they got this spaceship, and they're having other spaceships that sending missiles at them, but they've got this force field, these shields is made out of like energy force field, and they always say, "Oh, put the shields up, shields up." So they got the enemy's missiles just bounce right off because they got their shields up. Well, when the shields are lowered, then if the enemy sends a missile to the spaceship, it can penetrate and blow a hole in the side of the ship. Well, of course, that would be catastrophic. Well, it's the same thing with negative thoughts. You're lowering your shields against disease, against viruses, against all the things are already in the air. It's already in the air. I don't care how many masks you wear, it's in the air. So you're lowering your shields every time you think a negative thought about yourself. And enough negative thoughts about yourself lowers your shields so that all of the viruses that are already present in the air and in the atmosphere, they can penetrate you and you get sick. This is why when you're depressed, you get sick. This is why you get more cold when you're sick, when you're sad. Because you have lowered your shields, and all of these things, these viruses are in the air all the time. We're breathing them all the time. We're all walking around together all the time. They don't bother you because you've got the shield of protection, your own immune system. And your immune system is strengthened when you're happy and full of joy and you love yourself. So love is a very powerful energy.
Absolutely. And then how do we feel loved? Okay. I'm still, for personally, I go back to the life of Princess Diana.
Mm-hmm.
We were so benchmarked, we were taught, we've been marketed to be benchmarked against people like her. The wealth, the beauty, the status, the popularity, and then we just always have to feel shame. We are inadequate compared to that. And that was the tool for them to marketing some product to us. But you know what? We had to think the other way. See, what we have that she doesn't have. Life.
Yeah.
So that's the God's blessing to us. Sometimes we just need to learn the way we know how to find how we are being loved. Number one, we are alive in this world to be able to enjoy time with our loved ones. And unfortunate for her, she was never be able to see the growing up of her two sons, the wedding of her sons. But what we can do it, that's also that shows the love from God. And
Yes.
we have to count our blessings. For me, is to be able to feel like I'm actually being loved by God is to count the blessings.
Yes.
And also how to love ourselves, count our success throughout your life that overcome challenges. We need to know how to tally our, the success we make so far in the past.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
we also see, where we make a mistake. What's the reason we make a mistake? And then we do not repeat that anymore. I think
Right.
that's, just learn to give ourselves credit for what we have been doing all along. Just like when I debate with my son, I say, I came this country 30 years ago only with $40 in my pocket. I have a family here to support me. I didn't know anybody, barely know anybody. To be where I am, it's all because of myself. It's my own effort plus God's blessings. If God didn't provide the air for me to breathe, the water for me to drink, I may not be alive today to do what I can do. So I first give all the credit to God, and then give credit to myself. And I would not let anybody, not even my children, to shame me, not my parents to shame me, because they do not know what I've been through.
Right. Right.
I always tell you are just comparing oranges and apples, and I'm not gonna fall in like a plot.
Yes. Yes. And that's so important, to not let people shame you, not let people make you feel bad by things that they say. Sometimes you have to just stop talking to people if you know that they're going to be negative, because you have a right to not hear it. You have a right to not absorb the negative energy from people saying things like, "Oh, that's all the money you're making. Oh, is that how your house looks? Oh, is that the kind of shoes you have on?" Just trying to make you feel like there's something inadequate about you. But remember, people only do that when they feel inadequate about themselves. When you know that, then what they do has no impact. People only criticize others when they don't feel good about themselves. Now, you notice all of our female solutionals, and I love our team of hosts, we say positive affirmations to each other every single day because we feel good about ourselves. So we can compliment other women. We can encourage other women. You have to have self-love in order to be able to give love. So when someone's saying something negative or hurtful, it's because that's how they feel about themselves. Like our dear sister Zoe just said, when people try to shame you, it's because they think they're going to make themselves feel better. And that's the only reason why people do that. Because if they want to really help you, they can lovingly help give you some advice that's not going to tear you down. So ignore people who say negative things because they're only reflecting how they feel about themselves. But most importantly, do not say negative things to yourself. I had to really, it took me, wow. Well, I turned 63 last year. It took me 62 years to figure out how not to do that to myself. Just last year, I figured out that I was saying negative things to myself all the time. And I made a conscious effort to stop doing that. And I realized that I was condemning myself all the time for every mistake I made. I listened to the self-talk, like they say, what's the conversation in your head? Oh, you did it again. You're so stupid. How come you can't remember things? Why did I'm this running dialogue, and I'm just tearing myself down. And I didn't realize it. Until someone said something about pay attention to your self-talk. What are you saying inside your own mind that no one else can hear but you? And it's that same experiment with the arm strength. When you say something negative, you tear yourself down, you deplete yourself of energy. And if you're tired a lot, you might be doing that to yourself. And that's what's making you tired. Saying things to yourself that are hurtful and making you feel ashamed, it's affecting you physically. And we do it all the time because we think we're being humble. There's nothing wrong with being grateful to God for whatever gifts you have and not being boastful. But that's different than affirming yourself with positive affirmations like our Monday morning mindfulness host Zelda said earlier. Positive affirmations is not egotism. Saying, I am wonderful, I am beautiful, I am kind, I am loving. Saying those things in your own mind is not being boastful. It's energizing yourself. Because if we're all reflections of God, then we should be feeling that we are the greatest version of ourselves we can be. We're expressing an aspect of God. So why would we not want to say something positive about ourselves? Saying debilitating things about yourself, saying depreciating things about yourself, it's not a good trait. It's actually slowly killing you because you're lowering your immune system and you're inviting in viruses. And viruses will come into a body where the shields are lowered because you've been saying negative things to yourself or listening and absorbing other people saying negative things to you. And that will make you sick. We got a couple of comments
Yeah.
here. Let's see. And Zelda says, affirmations are the key to a good mindset. Conscious thoughts are powerful. Yes, they are. You got to consciously think positive
Yeah, we
thoughts
have to
about
be.
it. At least I woke up. Yeah, it took me, 62 years. And I finally said, why am I doing this to myself? My daughter, she said something to me one day because, I'm always overscheduling myself, trying to do all these things and work 22 hours out of 24 hours of a day and not sleep. And if I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to, the to-do list of 20 things, every 25 things, trying to do everything and be everywhere. And my daughter said, Mom, why are you doing this to yourself? Nobody's making you do this. And it finally dawned on me that I'm trying to prove myself worthy to myself. And so I'm always giving myself all these things to do so that I can feel worthy of my own love. And I thought that's crazy. But it took me 62 years to figure that out. Just last year I figured it out. I'm like, why? So you got to love yourself just as you are and not feel like, well, I have to be this before I can love myself. Well, I have to have my perfect makeup on so I don't have any flaws so I can love myself. Oh, my hair has to be perfect so I can love myself. Oh, I got to spend a lot of money on clothes so I look like I got money so I can love myself. I have to make a certain dollar amount so I can buy certain things so I can love myself. Why? If God's love is unconditional, we must have the same love for ourselves that God has for us. Unconditional. I love you because I exist and nothing else. That takes that takes so much reprogramming.
Yeah, I know. I always go back to the story, and I feel like if I'm alive today, just because God kind of play a little favor to me. Let me live beyond the age that
yes.
So then I just say, hey, we really, if God actually loves us, why don't we love ourselves too?
Yes.
So the life is the best gift in the world. Nothing can buy.
Oh, look at that, dear sister. She says, Zoe and you are both worthy and beautiful. Thanks for sharing your vulnerability. It helps us all. Yes. I think when you can admit to yourself things you're working on about yourself, it helps other people know, oh, I'm not by myself. I'm not the only one going through this. Oh, okay. Yeah, because we all recognize things in ourselves that need to be corrected because they've been shaped by our past. And what is it Viata was telling us about? The ACE test, adverse childhood experiences, things you've gone through in life. And there's a test for that, but you can see things that you've gone through that made you feel less worthy of love. And that's what you're struggling with as an adult. Whether people told you all your life you were ugly or too skinny or too fat, Or maybe you're a woman but your hair was short, and somehow short hair is supposed to be an awful thing. You're bald headed. All of those things. Oh, you're too light. You're too dark. You do all these things. Your teeth are crooked. I mean, whatever it is, whatever perceived defect that you're still holding on about yourself in your own mind and punishing yourself, you have to undo that, because those thoughts are making you feel bad about yourself. And when you feel bad about yourself, you're sending yourself negative energy, lowering your shields and inviting in viruses that attack your body. You're causing your organs to malfunction and develop dis-ease by the negative energy of your thoughts to yourself. We make ourselves sick with our own minds. The mind is the most powerful thing we have. So you got to forgive yourself for whatever shortcomings you see yourself as having, and love yourself just as you are. That takes a lifetime sometimes to learn how to do that.
Yeah, I think that kind of a analysis of our childhood really affect our self-image.
Yes.
So we take a stock of what we've been through in our childhood, and we know why we have certain kind of a certain concept of ourselves. But we grew up, maybe that was not our choice. We were put in that situation. But as we grow older, we have power to say, okay, those are not our fault. Okay,
right.
We didn't choose to live in a household that have so many family issues. I grew up in a family that affect my life greatly. Even up to my college years, my parents were just not see eye to eye on every single thing. So to the point, every day on my way back to from school, before I reach my house, I have to take a stock. I have to take a stock of what's going on in my life on that day. If I have something make me happy, then something in my house will make me sad. That's every day I have that calculation throughout all my high school years. So I had a very low self worth, even in my first 2 years in college. I just feel I was inadequate. I was ugly duckling. I was short compared to all the girls in my class. Other girls are beautiful. I was just ugly duckling. And then, I was I just come to the final year. I start dating. Only I was feel like I was never going to have a boyfriend, in college. Because I was not worth it. And nobody liked me. That's how I felt at that time. And then you know what? That's just by blessing of God that actually in the same year I met my first boyfriend and my best friend on the same year. Both love me more than I thought. I had such a problem with my first boyfriend. I feel like he didn't love me. He didn't spend enough time with me. He has another girl that always want to hang out with him. I have all this issue when you first start dating. You doubt if that person love you or not. And then I have this a good friend. I feel shame to tell my roommates, all the girls that I have problem with my first boyfriend. So I told this American teacher who went to my school to teach English, and I told him all my problem with my first boyfriend, and he was a good listener.
Well, that was good. Zoe, can you move a little closer to the camera? Yeah, there we go. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Be a little better too. Yes.
Yeah. So and then I was able to tell my good friend about the things I've been through, and then the next year they all left because my first boyfriend graduated a year early. He was a year older, and then a few years later, I realized how much he actually loved me, even though I didn't know he was loving me. When I when I broke up with him because he went to South side, South China, and I couldn't go with him, I just said, well, that's the end of our relationship. And he later told me for 2 years he wouldn't date anyone because he was so traumatized. I said, oh,
Wow.
I didn't know he loved me that much. If
Yeah.
someone loves me that much, that means I'm really worth it.
And sometimes people love us and we just can't believe that they really do because we don't think we're worthy. And Zelda says, yeah, me too, Zoe. There were times I didn't want to go home. Been there, done that. No more. Yes. I mean, we've been through some things, to get to the point where we are now, confident women in our sophisticated years. We had to go through a lifetime of struggle to get to this point. That's why we can advise women who are still going through those stages of self-doubt and self-condemnation because we've been there. We've been called the ugly duckling and too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny. All these things. Your hair is not right, your nose is not right. Your clothes aren't right. Where you grew up and the place where you grew up in the city is not the right side of town. We've been through all of those things that would make us feel about ourselves. And we finally reached the realization that we are perfect just as we are because we are all unique expressions of God. And God does not make anything that is junk. So we had to go through things to get to that point of realization. And it's a painful journey sometimes because you might end up with a relationship. If you're feeling bad about yourself and you're feeling unworthy about yourself, you're going to attract to you somebody who mirrors how you feel about yourself. So when they're treating you badly, in your mind, you're thinking, well, I don't deserve any better. And so you stay with that person that treats you badly because that's how you feel about yourself. And then you can find somebody who really loves you, but because you're insecure, you don't believe they love you. So you kind of treat them badly, like, oh, you don't really love me. And then you're accusing them of things, or who is that you're talking to on the phone? Oh, you're out with another woman, all these kind of things, driving a person away because in your heart you don't feel that they really love you because you don't feel worthy. So This is why forgiving yourself, loving yourself, that has to be at the foundation of who you are. Otherwise, you can't attract to you someone who reflects your love of yourself. Whatever person you have in your life, they're only reflecting you.
And then also, when we don't have a good actually evaluation of ourselves, we put ourselves down, and sometimes we put also ourselves in a relationship that other people take advantage of us.
Yes.
And I know, I think about yesterday, you were talking about some men, a rich man, and then
oh yes,
and the way this woman, and he feel like, oh, that woman didn't appreciate. But you know what? Maybe it was not the right relationship. He, with his wealth and power in the relation, exploit that and didn't treat her equally as what she should be treated emotionally, not in talking about dollars. Okay, how much I can put the dollars into the relationship. In terms of love is equal. There's you have to treat that person equal. You give in. You don't use your money and power to say, I own you.
You can't buy me.
No,
I've seen that happen. Yes.
She's walk away. So when that person say, why she's ungrateful? Ungrateful what? There's nothing to be grateful on at all in a relationship.
But that's the thing.
Nothing to be grateful.
That's true. And you know what? I've seen people think that because they have money, they should be able to buy somebody. You can't. Old song from the Beatles before your time. Can't buy me love. You can't buy. You can't buy love.
Because love is a very equal. It's a reciprocal.
Yes.
There's no dollar sign it. Because people put a heart. It's a heart to heart, not money for heart.
Right. Yeah. You can't. You can buy sex. You can't buy love. And people think if I bought you, then you should love me. And that doesn't happen. And they feel used when they find out they've spent money on somebody. That person still doesn't love them, but they don't owe you love. Love is something that has to grow naturally. You can't make it happen. You can't buy it. People don't owe it to you. So if you're trying to buy someone and you know, I bought you this, I bought you that, I bought you that. And you know, how dare you go with someone else? Well, that's who they wanted. You can't buy a person and they don't owe you anything because you spent money on them. That's the thing. And you know, and you all can call in and tell me what you think about this.
Because the
Well,
people
we had a
who-
conversation about that.
Yeah, because those people think they have money to buy because they are short of in affection department. They do not have enough affection to show their love. They use money to compensate that.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what? That's a lie. And if there's no affection come with love, it's only monetary transaction, and that become a sex slave.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, you can buy sex, you can't buy love.
They don't want to be in that relationship. So for any man think that they've been put too much money involved, you know what? That was not a loving relationship. Because
Well, you know, that's
the man
and we
the
know-
man or the man or the woman, it doesn't matter. If the women just say, oh, I want to, you know, they want to go dating some man, like younger man, because women has money, they feel I can buy you. No, it's not either. You know,
you buy somebody things and they don't love you anyway. But now we've all been on the kind of date where somebody felt like they paid a lot of money for us, that they should get sex at the end of the night. You know, like, excuse me, you know, there are women who do that for money, but this is not what this is. Don't take me out to an expensive restaurant because you think, oh, I spent $150 on her. Therefore, I should have a sexual experience at the end of this night. No, no, I'm not for sale. Now, you can take me to McDonald's. You can take me to the most expensive restaurant in the world. You can't buy, you know, you can't buy my body, and you definitely can't buy my affection.
Yeah,
So-
I think those men should be thinking about, okay, what they are incapable of is give full love. The man could not give full love. You won't get the full relationship. And you know what? When the transaction is over, it's over. So
That's a transaction. Some people, that's all their relationships are, though, transactions. And that's it. We got to take another quick break. And we'll be right back. And we got some callers on the line, and we're going to take those calls after this. You gotta love yourself. Now, we've got a question we're going to give you a minute to answer. We're going to pull this up on the screen. Beata says, Zoe, what do you think are the most important things you experienced to help you develop self-esteem? We're going to take a break and give her a minute to think about that and give us that answer after this quick break. So we want you all to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back. So stay with us.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
get out of bed into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Build the Speak for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure to send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening. We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
And here, of course, is our weekly lineup of the Female Solution Global Radio TV show hosts. And you can listen to us live every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Saturdays, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central. Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central. And of course, we have an opportunity to also hear from you as you call in. You can call in. We're on multiple platforms. You can just tap whichever one you want to hear, whether it's visual or audio, and we will gladly take your calls. And we invite you to always be a part of the solution. So now we are back, and you are listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV show with our Tuesday host, Zoe Ma. And we invite you to shop with Zoe. We've got some delicious, calming tea that we invite you to try, and Balanji tea. Balanjin Chongji. And of course, for 20 package, just $6.99. You can go to femalesolution.com/products and order. And you can go to the femalesolution.com/prosperity partners if you want to also benefit from the sale of products on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show's website. We invite you to do that as well. So we are back, and we've got some callers, but we got a question that was asked, and Viana said, what do you think are the most important things you experience to help you develop self-esteem? So how did you go from that person who felt like she was an ugly duckling and unworthy to knowing your worth and being the confident woman you are today, international, successful businesswoman, properties and so forth that you own in other states and all of that, successful entrepreneur? What did you do to transform your thoughts about yourself?
I think probably everyone experience same. Sometimes you want something and then not you also receive something unexpectedly that you feel you are not worth it to do it. But anyway, what happened in my life, that's the moment I feel it was divine intervention. That I feel like the angels is always in our surrounding. We just have to know that was the moment. You know, there are people who deliver to us from God. And I remember early 2000, I started doing real estate investment, and I accumulated quite a bit a portfolio, but I get very anxious. You know, I get worried that what if I lose all of those things? And then I was stressed out. I was unhappy with many things, to the point I was one day I was in a shower and my hair is pulling out, and I thought, you know, I probably forgot how to smile.
Wow.
You know, that's how bad it was. But you know, around 2003, I was introduced to a church planting a couple from South Africa. You know, I was kind of going churches, church services on and off for about 10 years. But I was not, it doesn't really register with me. But I learned a lot from this South African couple who were doing church planting in Chicago. And 2004, I went to a retreat in Los Angeles. And then over the weekend, I went to San Diego to see a Chinese couple from a Chinese church who moved there. And over the weekend, I went to a church service in a home church. I didn't know anybody there. And during the service, there's a man stood up. He pointed at me and he said, I have a message for you. That God says he's going to protect you like a bubble. I was shocked. I didn't know anybody. I didn't expect anything happen. But that trip actually changed my life, because I said, wow, that was a message from God. It was a divine intervention. And then, I mean, it was several times in my life that I didn't know, that, you know, shape the path of my life to what I am today. Because with that, and I said, okay, God, I believe in you. So it's a choice of faith. At that time, I can either just blow it off, or I can accept it. And I did accept it. I say, I know God is going to protect me. I don't care anymore. And also, I feel, okay, even though I accumulate my portfolio, investment portfolio, but those things, maybe it's just God entrusts those things to me temporarily, so I can lose it all. That's okay. So that's when I just feel such a relief. There's nothing going to hold on to me anymore. That I can accept to lose everything, because those things don't belong to me anyway. It was just God entrusts to me temporarily, and God's going to be the provider for me for the security of it.
Yes.
And I make a huge change, huge decision in my life. And then my life afterwards doesn't mean it's smooth. It will still have up and downs, sometimes horrible. But I have faith in me that, you know, God is going to guide me through it. That the love of God is what gave me the self-esteem. That I did not look for God love from my parents or my husband at that time, because love is from God.
Yes.
And I can forgive all of those, my parents or my husband at that time, that they make mistake or they may treat me poorly, to me, it's okay. It's only we are human interaction that we make mistakes because we are vulnerable, and then the mistakes, because it only come from our vulnerability, not because our evil intention. So I learned to forgive everyone because I know the love of God is always there. That's the love of God is huge compared to anything that a human being can give it to me, either my mom, my parents, or my husband.
Yes.
And
That
even
is
my children. Same thing. So I do not expect anything from them anymore.
That is so
I have
profound.
no expectation of them. I don't, and also I don't have expectation of myself. I'm not going to put myself. Don't benchmark for myself. It's just unconditional love of myself because God loved me unconditionally. So we have to learn to find the moment of divine intervention in our life.
Yes, that's the answer. That is always the answer, to discover that, to discover the unconditional love of God, to discover it in ourselves. That's always the healing power when you have been through, whether it's abuse or neglect or shame or whatever it is, to discover that God loves us unconditionally, and we must love ourselves unconditionally as well. We are worthy of unconditional love. And so that way you stop expecting it to come from imperfect people, such as parents, children, siblings, friends. Don't expect it to come from others. Don't expect it to come from outside of yourself. Expect it and realize it's in yourself, coming from God. That will heal all of your misperceptions of yourself as unworthy. But it's everybody's discovery that they have to experience. That's the journey we're on, to discover love. Now, Deborah asked the question, and we want to make sure you all know that you can purchase our products right on the FemaleSolution.com website, and simply go to the FemaleSolution.com and go to the products page. The FemaleSolution.com/products will take you right there, and you will be able to purchase the products that we have shared with you. And we've got a moment for a caller before we go, and we're going to open the mic for 312-632. You got about 30 seconds to give us your thought on self-love. Go right ahead. Are you with us? I don't think they're with us, but that's okay. We're here every day. So you can call in and comment. I think we had a comment on our on-air radio network. We've got Minister Plump. You got about 30 seconds before we go. Give us a quick thought on self-love. Unmute.
Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Self-love is unconditional love. It's the greatest that you can discover. The most important person that is living, and that is you. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Minister Plump. Yes.
Go to Robert Plump Facebook page.
All righty, we'll do that. Likewise.
Keep up the good work.
Likewise. Love you too. Thank you so much.
Is the greatest.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you for always adding to the solution. We appreciate you so very much. And come on back tomorrow for health and well-being with Beata. We'll see you then. And as always, we appreciate you, and we want to say thank you to our global family listening from all around the world.
We've come to the end of our show today, but you can hear every show in the archive at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. You can also hear today's show on the Female Solution Facebook page. Go to www.facebook.com/the-female-solution. Leave your comments about today's show. You can always reach me on my website at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Watch our TV shows, listen to our radio shows, order our books, and be sure to get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I would like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussion. And to our global family listening from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, Sheshe, India, Zanyaba, Japan, Arigato, Korea, Kamsahamnida, Russia, Spasiba, Germany, Danke, Poland, Dziękuję, France, Merci, Spain, Gracias, Italy, Grazie, Egypt, Shukra, Ghana, Medasi, Nigeria, Eshe, South Africa, Niamong, Senegal, Jerez, Kenya, Asante, Israel, Toda, Pakistan, Shukriyan, Afghanistan, Tashakor, Saudi Arabia, Shukran. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessing.